Speaking of hopping in, oh hell yeah, damn, 20 stream streak, that's fucking awesome. Thank you for being here for so long, Snob. We love that. And Alex, you get yourself a greater amjack? Hell yeah, congratulations. Sorry, Big Daddy, I already rescued the little sister on this map. And Snom, you got yourself a Paco Paco. Nice. Hey everyone, a few people have asked me how I made all the little interactive things on my stream. Not just the fishing redeem we just saw, but the random messages, inventories, sounds, and all the other little systems that make chat feel alive. The cool part is, they're all built on the same basic idea. Today I'm going to show you how to build one of those from scratch using Mix It Up. Now, I'm using fishing because it fits my channel, but don't get hung up on the fish itself. You could turn this into Pokemon, mining, potion brewing, treasure hunting, collecting used artifacts, anything that fits your community and your vibe. Once you understand the system as a whole, the theme is entirely up to you. I do think one of the biggest misconceptions about Mix It Up is that it's just a bot. It's really a lot more than that. It's closer to a little automation engine. Once you realize that, you can start making your stream react to your viewers in ways that Twitch doesn't necessarily support right out of the box. Before we do start clicking around and Mix It Up, I want to explain one concept that's going to make this whole tutorial a lot easier to understand. Mix It Up works a lot like building with Lego blocks. Each action you add does one small job, either reading a file, sending a message, playing a sound, updating an inventory, etc. Right? And then you stack those actions together to create something much bigger. The other thing you'll hear me mention a lot is variables. A variable is just a piece of information that Mix It Up remembers so you can use it later. For example, if Mix It Up randomly picks rainbow trout from the file that I have set up for it, we'll save that result into a variable called fish, and we'll type it out as $fish. Later on, instead of typing rainbow trout each time ourselves, we can simply write $fish, and Mix It Up will automatically replace it with whatever was randomly selected. The same goes for someone's username, and we'll write that as $username. We don't know who's going to go and redeem the reward, so Mix It Up fills that in automatically when we have that variable in there and the command runs. Once you understand that variables are just placeholders for information, everything else we're building today starts to make a lot more sense. So let's actually go ahead and build it. Once we're inside Mix It Up, open the menu in the top left corner and head on over to Currency, Rank, Inventory. Once we're in here, go ahead and click Add Inventory to open up this box. The name here doesn't really matter so much because your viewers won't be seeing it. Mine up there that it's already made is called Catch Gear, but overall I would just recommend that you keep your name short because you're going to use that as a special identifier later on. So for this one, let's go ahead and just call it Tentacle. Now, default max amount here, it's automatically set to 99, but it can go all the way up to 2,147,483,647, which is a wildly specific number, but if you got people having that much inventory, then more power to you. Set this maximum number to whatever makes sense for your stream, because you can always come back later and increase it if anyone in your community gets close to that amount of inventory. Now, under item list here, go ahead and create at least one item. For the purposes of this, let's just go ahead and keep using the word tentacle. All right, you're going to click add item, and then that's going to stay there. In my case, I had catch of the day on there. Yours can be anything you want. It could be gems, potions, ghosts, Pokemon, treasure, whatever matches your stream's vibe. At this point, we're pretty much done with this window, but I do want to point something out. You'll notice Mix It Up also lets you build up virtual shops where viewers can spend currency to buy these items. That's a pretty cool feature, but for this tutorial, we're going to keep things simple and tie everything directly to a channel point redeem instead. So save your inventory and head back to the main menu. And then this time we're going to want to open up Twitch channel points. Now, if you've already built a channel redeem, then you're going to click add command to existing reward. If not, you can use create new channel point reward to make a new one. It just so happens that I've done this a bunch to try and record it, and so I have one already done for tentacles. Once you have this opened up and connected, this is where all the real magic happens for this redeem. Our first action is going to be to randomly choose what the viewer receives. You're going to come down here to the drop-down menu and you're going to find File, Read, and Write. Click that plus button to put that up there. Under the action drop down here, you're going to want to click Read Random Line from File. So here's why we're doing this. Instead of hard coding every possible result into Mix It Up, we're going to let it read from a simple text file. Every line becomes a possible reward, which means adding or removing items later is as easy as editing your text file in Notepad. So let's go ahead and make that file now. You see that I have already done one from doing this video again, and I've already added a few different types of tentacles in here. For me, the other one is just a big old list of edible fish. So once you have a bunch of things in here, it'll look a lot like this, right? It can be as many of these as you want. So for here, we'll just do tentacles, squid tentacles, octopus tentacles, Cthulhu tentacles, and hentai. Wait, nope. Just know that whatever you put in here, that's what your viewers are actually gonna see. So let's go ahead and save this up. And let's go back to our Mix It Up window so that we can go ahead and browse to that and mix it up. So browse to it, go ahead and open it up, and then we're gonna label our special identifier right here. And this is what we're gonna use for our special identifiers in the future. Once we've done that, we wanna let the chat know what is happening. So go ahead, come down here, click on chat message, and hit plus. If you've connected your bot or any kind of bot account to Mix It Up, this is where that bot will send messages into chat. Mine on my one that I use for my stream for the catch of the day says $username has reeled in today's catch of the day. Oh wow, it's a $fish. Yum. For us, we can say $username has been slapped by tentacle. Ouch. Right? It can be anything you want, but for me, it's always going to be something silly. So chat's going to show that message, right? And then the next thing we want to do is go ahead and track the inventory, right? So we're going to come down here. We're going to go to consumables, currency, rank, etc. And we're going to add that in there as well. We'll choose under consumables, whichever one you want to use. This case is tentacle. The action is going to be add to the user. And the item name itself, once again, tentacle. We'll add one tentacle each time. Now, every time someone redeems the reward, their personal inventory of tentacles or fish or whatever will increase by 1 or however many you set it. For me personally, I wanted viewers to be able to see their progress every time they redeemed this one, so I added one more chat message after this one. Mine simply says, $username now has a $user gear catch of the day fresh fish. For this one, we can say username has been slapped. And then this one's a different one, right? User gear, say tentacle times. Ow. I did need to pause real fast right in this spot to explain the mistake that we will see happens later on. I think right here I said user gear tentacle, and I got that wrong. You want to say user tentacle. So you want the inventory and the item itself, right? So whatever you titled the inventory itself, and then whatever you titled the item, that's what you want to put in that money sign user inventory item. So what that is going to do is that's going to say this person has been slapped this many times. It'll essentially be how many tentacles are in that user's inventory in Mix It Up. Last thing that I did personally is I wanted to have a little bit more oomph, a little bit more personalization, a little bit more feedback. And so what I did is I added a sound to it. To do that, all you have to do is scroll down to sound, hit plus, and then play sound, and then just browse to whatever sound you have. For my catch of the day, I have the sound of a reel getting pulled on by a fish. So yours, it could be a splash, a coin pickup, a spooky laugh, or whatever it is that fits your stream. A quick note that I want to add here is that if you're using OBS, you'll need to make sure Mix It Up is connected and that OBS is receiving Mix It Up's audio. That's a topic worth its own video, so if enough people want it, I'll be happy to cover that at a later time. Once you're done here, I'll delete that. You can hit save on this, and it just finds itself there in your Twitch channel points redeem menu. At a later point in time, I'll show you how you can actually test the command and make sure everything is working well. So now that we have all of our stuff set up under the commands, I suggest that you go ahead and test it. You don't want to end up in a situation where something's not working right, because everyone knows that once you start stumbling around, when things go wrong, it's a little embarrassing. So doing some testing while you're not live is always suggested. You're gonna hit that play button that you guys saw in the last little screen there, and you should see something like a box that has a different options. Usually it just says that you are the user that is redeeming this, but click that test command button at the bottom there. And there you go. You should see what you've put into the chat pop up in the chat. You also would hear the noise on your OBS if you have it connected, but I didn't add a noise in this last one. So if everything worked correctly, you'll see the, oh, there it goes, user gear tentacle times. That's almost exactly what I was talking about when something does not work quite right. But that's okay. We can go back and fix that at a later time. Congratulations. You've just built a reusable system that can become almost anything you want. And that's really the coolest part about this setup. This wasn't a fishing tutorial. This wasn't how to make a small game. You know, fishing is just what happened to fit my stream. Once you understand all the pieces, the files, the variables, the inventory, and some of the actions that you can put in there, you can build almost any interactive system you can imagine. If you end up making something with this, I would generally love to see it. Drop a comment and tell me what theme you went with. And if there are any other mix-it-up tricks you've seen on my stream that you'd like me to break down or explain, please let me know. Chances are they're built using the same ideas or the same processes we've covered today. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.